Guidance Labour Minister Joseph Hamilton says the ministry is engaging with Itel business process outsourcing provider on their plans to close its operations in Guyana. The decision will place more than 400 employees on the breadline. Speaking with reporters, the minister said the chief labour officer is in talks with the company and was advised and instructed by the ministry about the necessary procedures that they will have to follow.
We stayed away from commenting until we engage the company. The chief labor officer is reporting that in the conversation, the local management has indicated that a couple of things. One, there is a discussion and conversation about severing. The number at this moment is not a definitive number. Secondly, that the principals of the company will reach out to the ministry soonest. They will be in a better position to advise us about what their plans are. And they have been advised and instructed by the Ministry of Labor about the necessary procedures they will have to follow. One is in the case of what they're suggesting they might be doing. They have to inform formally the ministry, the chief labor officer, 1 month in advance. And two, they would have to make available a list of all the persons who are to be severed, their salaries and all the other issues, so that at the Ministry of Labor we can do the necessary calculation about the severance that people, based on their years of service and all that kind of thing. There's a way how it is done, what they must receive.
According to the minister, all is not lost for the workers.
I would say this, so people who might be affected will be affected. You have a lot of options available in this space called Guyana at the moment that you didn't have 5 years ago. So it is important that when you have a situation like this, you have to look to the future, because everything that suggests it is other people who have the power to make this decision for you. And so you must now take control of what you have power to do, and that is venture out into other areas. And I would dare say that you have enough space in different sectors where people can venture out into. Every day I look at the newspapers, I look at Facebook, social media, you see hundreds of jobs or companies are seeking employees. So all is not lost, I would say, to the people.
The company said its Georgetown site was no longer sustainable with its business model, and that the decision was not an easy one as it meant job losses. The closure, the company said, will happen in a phased approach over the coming months, as it still has commitments to clients who will continue to use its services until it ceases operations in November. However, the site located at the corners of Camp and Robb Streets will officially close on December 31st. Describing Guyana as a gem in the Caribbean with great potential, the company said its investments have not paid off as it faces ongoing challenges despite the country's continued economic growth. The BPO said as the local economy grows, the cost of doing business is rising and getting harder and harder to find and retain qualified candidates. This, the company said, made it difficult to attract and retain Fortune 500 clients, which is critical to maintaining a steady flow of business into the center.